So now we're talking about what the power and why I believe Elon Musk, because, and I always get the 007 GoldenEye newspaper guy that he's like, if you control information, you control the world. Doesn't matter how rich and powerful you are as an individual. You have a ceiling as to how powerful you can be. For example, Elon Musk is projected to be the richest man in the history of the world recorded. Even when you take kings and royalty who have inherent things so much that if you put it to inflation, when he gets to the 400 and something billion dollars, he's going to be the richest one ever in history. He has Tesla. He has his own, which is all smart vehicles, which you can use as weapons. You have drones.
I'm never letting merge in front of me ever again.
You can have drones that he already says that they have the ability to use them as weapons. You have your own space rocket team, and you have your own satellite fleet, right? But he's still not that powerful. Because the U.S. government can always say, under national security, we're taking it from you. Fuck off. And they can make the richest person in the history of the world a bum. Go and ask him in a soup kitchen, if they ever find him from one of those black sites. You know what I mean? So how do you avoid that? How do you avoid what he just went through this year with Brazil? Because he wants everybody to have a free speech as long as you say what he likes to hear. And Brazil judge said, you know what, your shit is going too far. You need to cool it. Oh, we're not going to do a damn thing. Great, we're going to suspend you. You're not going to do a damn thing. And he put his Starlinks over there and he started bypassing the judge's order and the internet. And the judge said, that's how it's going to be. So we're going to start fining you and fining you. So Elon Musk said, fine, fuck it, okay. I'm twisted. You won. Who can force Brazil to go fuck off? Elon Musk or the U.S. government?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, what I would love to see right now is Biden signing an executive order, making it somehow fucking irreversible, taking all his shit away. Take it all away in the name of the U.S.
I think there's a lot of options of things that could happen with the current administration. It'll be interesting to see if they do anything.
Our moral is not broken, so nothing is going to happen like some people are expecting. People are expecting that Biden quit and put Kamala on. Who the fuck people think Biden is? Like, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of the guy, but you got to respect the shit that not only he's gone through in the last 6, 7, 10 years, fuck, since Obama was president and he was vice president, but to the fact that he truly did what was right for the country.
Yeah.
And so every time that he does that, we come around and slap him on the face for it, while the Capone group, how much, I mean, when do you ever see a presidential candidate say, how much did Mitch McConnell had to hurt to swallow those words of endorsing me? Yeah. Fuck you, McConnell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a grip, there's a thing. So we don't have that lack of morality. We wouldn't be able to live ourselves with it. Because as democracy dies, it's not because we help kill it.
Right.
Because then if you cheat a little, it's okay to save it. Is it really? Because that's how it starts, with a little bit of cheating.
This is where I feel a little bit, not totally, but a little bit safer with New York and with our leadership when I listen to the governor and I listen to our attorney generals.
Yes, that we have common sense here.
And they've been preparing for this moment and they've been watching the playbook and they know what
but
could come.
But now we're gonna make this switch. You brought it right at the beginning of the whole conversation. Now we're going to go to states' rights?
Yeah.
No, federal rights. Because we know what's best for you, boy and little girls.
Yeah.
So states' rights are only good when Big Daddy wants to tell me what to do. But once I grow up to be the Big Daddy, then they're good for everybody else. That's what's going to happen.
That's why we just have to keep fighting and standing up.
I always told the people in Texas one simple thing. If you don't want to have to deal with Mexicans crossing the border, well, don't make up made-up borders. It's like calling the Ukraine and Russian war a war. It's not a war. It's an invasion that the other ones are defending themselves against. The U.S. and Mexico never went to war. The Mexico went to an independence war with Spain. Yeah, Texans, you don't know any of this shit, I'm pretty sure. And when they won their independence, but they were wounded, depleted, and like, okay, now, kind of like the U.S. said, we're fucked. But now we can actually start working on our crap. Imagine if then Canada comes and says, surprise, we're taking your shit. That's what we did to Mexico. But that's what did happen to Mexico. Assholes that wanted some money, they say, you know what, I think I like Texas and California. So we're going to start encroaching into this shit. And when they get mad, we tell them to go fuck off because, well, we got our rights of being white. Mm-hmm. And then the president at that moment said, get out of there. And then they got the right president that says, yeah, go for it. I don't fucking care. I'm not going to help you, but I'm not going to say anything about it either. And then the next president came and said, you know what, I like that idea. I am going to help you. Now we got, get out of my house, Mexican. Well, Texas, answer me this. Why is it Texas and not Texas? And why is it with an X and not with a J? Why is it Mexico and not Mexico? Because they're both are the same answer. And it has to do with you are in stolen lands, motherfucker. So imagine that somebody comes into backyard and says, this is my new border. My property yard sends half into your yard now. I got 10 of my redneck friends here with me and guns. And the government said that they're not going to interfere. What do? 10 years from now, you lost half of your fucking house. Mm-hmm. And now you are the one breaking the law when you try to get it back. Learn your fucking history, people.
Well, that's why America, we don't teach real history, so that's why it keeps repeating itself. Because we don't teach the real history.
This is why I'm doing all of this shit, so you know. Yeah. Like, not just this little podcast thing. This is just me.
Well, yeah,
this is just
if the
my...
Department of Education is eliminated and they don't require that real history be taught, like where I don't even know where that leaves us.
You know that this is actually one of the things I wanted to also talk to you about, because you are some of the other people that I come across. Mm-hmm. I come across many people, as you know, and you're one of the ones that are elevators. You elevate other people. You elevate the community.
Oh, you're very sweet.
I'm being honest. You're the sweet one for doing it. I'm just talking about it. You're the fucking one putting all the effort into that shit. And when I'm talking about, like, how many hours or how many miles would you used to drive a year to go rescue dogs?
Oh, tens of thousands.
Yeah, she used to rescue animals and all kinds of shit. She now created her own little dog rescue thing or whatever. So there's podcasts and videos. There's no money on that. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, there's money in education, there's money in all of that shit. If you're looking at it to do it for a passion, if you do it for a passion and not to be a trillionaire out of it and scream it out of everybody, fuck, even just with the ads, there's some money in there. Mm-hmm. But the idea is to educate.
Yeah.
Many people give me an answer of, I'm not a podcaster, I'm not a creator, I'm not a whatever the hell would be. I have nothing, I know nothing about it, and there's already too many jackasses speaking. That's exactly why. Because we get more and more hate speech being going around. And if our shit is not going to be heard, at least we can create static for them. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So anything that is educational, anything that is balance.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a cop who I'm going to be reading stories for him because he writes erotica. But he doesn't want...
Please don't tell me who this is. I don't want to know.
Yeah, nobody's going to know. I promise that... No, he's not even from there. He's... For people who doesn't know, my driving range is about...
Driving range?
Yeah, I drive from Binghamton to Buffalo and Allegheny to Watertown. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how many square miles that would be.
A lot.
But you can drive 4 hours each way with no problems.
Yeah.
And so one of the cops in my area,
Yeah.
and he's like, dude, but you gotta make sure nobody knows it's me.
That's so
So anything and everything.
Yeah.
But you don't, but that's all morally wrong. Well, it depends. Is he talking about children? Is he talking
Right.
about abuse? Is he
This is
talking
consenting
about
adults. What
this
is
is
the
just
issue?
like your little books that you buy when nobody's seeing you
Yeah.
type of thing. So if you have a voice, great, have it.
Right.
Some people don't know if they have a voice or not, and they just want to start with something simple. But what do I start that people might be interested with? Who gives a fuck? What are you interested about?
And I've told everybody, you don't put the post on social media for anybody other than yourself. You do it for yourself.
It's a reminder for you.
Right. It's a reminder for you, and that's it. And you just do it. And you do it for yourself. And eventually, if something's supposed to come of it, it will. But you don't do it for anyone but yourself.
That's part of why I started this, because the only
Yeah.
one that I've listened to it so far I'm trying to is Jennifer, my wife, because she's like, Carlos, you know, people might just be blocking you. I'm like, who gives a fuck? They can block me all the fuck they want.
Sure.
The ones who reading it, because we agree on very basic steps of
Yeah.
moral life. And if you don't like it, then please get the hell out of my life, because I don't have time for that shit anymore.
Right.
And
Yes.
so
I've done quite the inventory check on people in my life, and I've eliminated quite a few people recently.
well, you gotta be thankful for that, because before they were undercover.
Right.
Everybody was undercover today.
True.
Now you know who's who everywhere.
And I have given people opportunity after opportunity, thrown them softballs just to like get their shit right, and
Be
they,
human.
and they don't. So
The problem is, if money has more value than life, you and I most likely are not gonna be seeing eye to eye. Like with this project, PKDK, right? I've been told by the other 4 members of the founding members, you should maybe stop talking about politics when talking to prospect people who take part of as a founding member in the project. Are you fucking crazy? Might as well just hire the guy that is the homeless guy from the corner. Because this is literally the opposite of that. If you have that kind of point of view, get the fuck out of my way. Like,
Yeah.
get the hell out of here. I want nothing to do with you. You got your Truth Social, you got your Confederate shit, and you got your Ag Social, and you got so many other outlets. Get the fuck out of here. This is outlets for common sense and equality of people, because your dick is not more valuable than mine.
yeah, everybody just needs to try to create a sense of community so people can find where they belong and where they're comfortable.
So you know the invite is open to you, no?
It's no time for that.
Oh, bullshit. Because that's what everybody says. But then you realize something. That's how I ended up with his diary.
Yeah.
And that's how other people ended up with diaries. But at the same time, you have knowledge that you like to impart, because you can never keep your mouth shut, like me. Am I wrong?
No, it's true.
So, it's the kind of thing where maybe you don't want to put your face in it
I don't mind putting my face on it.
because of whatever. But if anything comes up, I'm talking right now with an archaeologist in Peru to do a podcast, because she wants to have a podcast about how to teach people about archaeology, preserving it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? People over there, it's a 280,000 acre archaeological site, and the people who live around it literally are stealing parts of it to try to sell it. So they're trying to do more like a U.S. style
Okay.
museum than just a regular, look, nobody gives a fuck, really.
Yeah.
The FLACRA people, I've been talking to drug court, Judge Season. Maybe after she retires, she might want to share some of her own opinions and knowledge and stuff. Drug treatment court, they're the personnel from all the other different ones. They're interested in doing it, because let's create good fucking white noise if we're gonna put noise to drown the other shit. So, like for me, if I would have had at least more information that is real information, not information of, well, hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about commercial break.
Right.
I don't give a fuck about that. So that's why I'm reaching out to the real people. They don't know how to do any of that because they're just gonna sit there and record it
Right.
and talk about the real stuff, right?
Sure.
Maybe, maybe not. My brother would be alive and we would have had a different relationship. Because, you know, dealing with your ADHD and you're bipolar and you don't believe them doctors are good and medicine is to screw you over and Trump is your savior. You know what I mean? So it's like drug addiction because of all of those things.
It's just brainwashing. Yeah.
Well, and it has a lot to do with mental issues, just from accident as a teenager.
Okay.
So like he had an accident at 4. That's what we assume.
Well, yeah, and it makes you more susceptible and more vulnerable
He
to
was
that kind of
in a coma
thing.
for 2 weeks. They put a screw in his head to the swelling of the brain. And I told my mom, if he wakes up, he's gonna be a 14-year-old baby.
Yeah.
You're gonna teach him how to talk, how to poop, how to eat, how to everything. And the first thing he woke up and said, he's like, "What the fuck are you all looking at?" So, but he was never right after that. You know that whole I'm invincible now.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, he went crazy with that. Because, I mean, he had a scar like this, about 6 inches, 9 inches from neck to neck, like from side to side, because they had to do a tracheotomy and whatever. And the doctor came out and explained it. I remember this part where he says, well, the best way that I can tell you is that when he breathes, he's going to be really loud, like Darth Vader. But that's because his throat is so wide that you can throw a mango seed through it and he won't choke.
Oh, gosh.
So he would breathe
Oh, my gosh.
the whole, so we call him Vader for like 8 years that he was breathing like that until he got operated again. But you don't go through shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without, especially in Latin America, remember that machismo that we're talking that feels very represented right now? Machismo says, you take care of the physical shit. The mental stuff,
Oh, yeah, that doesn't make
man
sense.
up.
Yeah.
I had a friend, my best friend since teenager. Last year we had a conversation where I was like, fuck, I don't know, man. I think I need to have my meds adjusted because I'm feeling myself a little edgy. Oh, fucking dumbass. What the fuck you taking medicine for, dude? You just man up that shit. Take a couple of beers and just fucking go for it. And that's the problem. And that's the problem right there. If I don't fix it with a punch
Yeah.
or by force,
Yeah.
You know how hard it has been for me to learn patience? I'm still learning patience.
It's a toughie for me, too.
Jason teaches me patience, and I apply with Ellie, but then I wonder, why can I apply with Jason?
Right.
Like, dude, I explained that to you once. Why can't you fucking get it already?
Yeah.
Because you only explained it to me once.
Yeah.
And then I sit around like, fuck, sorry, I was such a dick.
Yeah.
You know, so, I don't know. You, me, and the rest need to start, I think, prepping how to help those motherfuckers that have just spit on our face when they come out and their leader spits on their face, and then we're going to have to be like a decision to make. Do we tell you to go fuck off? Or do we welcome you into the light and actually try to work towards another part? Because I want to say
I don't
fuck
have
off.
an answer for that right now. Exactly.
But we have to figure out a way to get the other way. Life just showed me this the last couple of years. I was in court myself for family shit, trying to get visits for my niece and nephew. And it took over a year for us to get visits because mom didn't felt that we should have visits because her boyfriend was best dad ever to them because he's dead, so who cares? The kids didn't go to his wake. The kids, we didn't see him until the year after, where we actually were able to take him to Niagara Falls and spread some ashes and stuff like that. Thing to fucking Mike Schmidt. Hey, fucking, you need help? Fucking take your case. Didn't charge me a goddamn thing.
nice.
And my mom was just giving him quesillos, flan. Because it's like, just, you make flan? She's like, yeah, I love flans. I'll make you flans. But he never charged for a damn thing, and he fought like a fucking beast.
That's great
So
to
we
hear.
started to get our visitations, right? Ignore the judge's ruling. Ignore the judge's decision for visits. Ignore the court appointments. Ignore the video appointments. In person. Tell the court, oh, I was supposed to be there at 9? It's 9:15? Yeah, I'll be there in 15 minutes. 10:15. Yeah, I'm not going to make it. So, to now, well, I hope you are feeling better. God bless you and your family. So, would you want to take him this weekend? Sure. Oh, everything's doing well. Oh, well, I'm so. Oh, let me go get him. Oh, you're bringing in the grocery shop? Let me help you carry them in. Let me help you get your other two little kids from the other jackasses inside the house after you kick him out because he was such a piece of shit. But you know how much I want to say? How much my mom wants to say?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, because now I'm getting emotional with this. But it's the kind of shit you just want to wring their fucking neck. But instead you gotta smile.
Well, you gotta smile for the kids' sake, but the kids weren't involved.
No, but it's what's gonna change the future. Because kids learn by example.
Kids, yeah.
And if we're not, this is the solution. We're not gonna win this by arguing with adults who are too stupid to realize their stupidity. But we can change the next generation. It can be a 10 to 20 year trip, or it can be a 50 to 100 year trip. Take your choice. In Venezuela, in Colombia, in Cuba, and everywhere else that it has stuck, it's because we thought, what? Adults against adults. I'm going to change your mind and then you're going to vote today differently. You know what was happening in the background? All the information given to our kids through the educational system was being changed. Little by little, not all at once. Today we'll put the 10 Commandments in your school.
Not for long.
Tomorrow we'll go ahead and, the 10 Commandments, because that's the only
you see the-
religion that we accept.
Did you see the federal judge blocked it
Yeah,
yesterday?
for now I'm going to tell you, not for long.
It'll be interesting.
So, the fact is that I got no problem with religion in school. Just give me all of religion in school. If you're going to have a religious class, I want to learn about Muslims. I want to learn about Jews. I want to learn about Buddhism.
Sure.
I want to learn about brujeria. And I want to learn about black magic just as much as evangelism and
Sure.
Christianism.
Sure.
It's all fucking religion. Why is yours
Right.
matters more than mine?
Right.
But we're not ready for that conversation. So because we're not ready to have those conversations with adults who are willing to give up their kids instead of religion, let me talk to my nephew. Let me talk to my niece.
Yeah.
Let me talk to the other one.
true.
And ask him questions. Don't preach them. Ask
No.
him questions. So what do you my niece, my 10-year-old niece, because everybody else is happy about the fact that Trump won, I just ask her, so why are you so happy about it? Oh, because they say it's going to be so good for us. Okay, how? I don't know. Because I think you might say, but didn't he just call Puerto Rico an island of trash? I don't know. Did he? Yeah, he did. Oh, that's not nice.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So now, 10 years from now, a lot of those are going to be voting.
Right.
20 years from now, a lot of those voting right now are not going to be around. And they're going to continue to be replaced in a generational wave. They already played that game. And look at the result. They started getting our kids the U.S. kids since the 80s and 90s with propaganda of, well, if you're going to allow being gay be okay, then we got to say other restrictions. And we got to put other things. And we got to try to separate you here and there. And little by little, being a bully is not so bad.
Yeah.
Right? So all of a sudden, well, it's not so bad because back in the 70s, bullies were around. So We grew up fine, so let's go back to it. And now we're back to it. Okay, great. You did that generational change, and we dropped the ball because we stopped educating our kids on what's important while we got distracted arguing with the adults.
Yeah.
So,
True.
why are teachers and educators so fucking important? Because they're always focusing on the little ones, and you need to make sure
Which
you
is why they're
love
trying
what
to-
you're doing.
Which is why they're trying to change it all and control it all.
This is why this.
Yeah.
Because I have an ability that it is, I live in the U.S. This is so cheap and easy for me to do and anybody here. What about if you're in Ukraine and your family has emigrated, you're a grandmother who just wants to tell stories to your grandkids? Put it there. What about if you're in, Russia and you found your voice, you want to fight, but
Yeah.
you're afraid. I don't have a channel where to put it out there. There you go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. All the fuckers all the assholes have escape and a place to go and feel safe.
Yeah.
And then they call us woke, snowflakes, and pussies for asking for the same thing. So, stop bitching like a little girl. Don't get mad when somebody else wants the same toy that you want. And we need to focus on that next generation. Because I talked to, I'm not going to say in the recording itself, whose mom is very Hispanic and very Trump. Because although they will tell you that family is important, I will sell all my time with my family for money. I will spend 17 hours working extra a week if it means that I can go to Las Vegas. I prefer to stop that, not be in Las Vegas and hang out at home with my kids.
Sure.
I cannot get that time back later.
Right.
I cannot go in 20 years and say, well, I got $3 million. I would like to buy 2 weeks with my kids back when they were 12.
Right.
So you can be as family oriented as you want, but your actions speak louder. But I have to eat. That's true. But if you're already making $100,000, you can also take an advantage and just say, I'm not going to buy that Louis Vuitton bullshit.
Right.
Maybe you take a coach and not first class ticket. I don't know. Just me.
Yeah.
Because if you're not making all that money by just your money working for you while you do whatever the fuck you want, but you're working 12, 14, 16 hours a day, you're double stupid. Because you're working for shit that it gets devaluated at any given right, can get stolen from you. Anything can happen. You can die fucking tomorrow.
Right.
And your
You can't take
son's
any
only
of it with you.
memories are that my mom worked a lot.
My mom wasn't there.
She worked so much to give me money.
Right.
So, having those conversations.
Yeah.
So why are so many people voting for Trump then, especially us Hispanic? This is a kid who loves Kanye West. And, dude, you put that trash in my house again, I'm going to wring your neck. But why you hate him so much? Well, let me ask you this. How do you feel about slavery? He's like, well, that's wrong. He says he's right. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. Look it up. And he starts looking up those things. And he's like, oh, fuck, am I going to have to stop listening to this? Because I don't know if I can agree with this and listening to his things. Welcome to wokeness, you dumbass.
True.
So, how do we do that? Our escape route is to teach the next generation.
Yeah.
16, 17, 18, 14.
Right.
Their mentality is the GOP mentality, MAGA mentality is simple. If gay people get married, they won't have kids, then this was told to me in a 2-hour conversation. I have 30 minutes of that conversation recorded because of security cameras that I had in Jen's place. So I was like, I gotta save some of this because people won't believe it.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of thing. That's the guy that told me that he's not against abortion, just against his girl having the ability to do things without his permission first. He's Cuban, by the way. Who just arrived.
Nobody's safe to be around.
Who just arrived at that moment a year and a half before. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
You come here telling me that you should have the right to own a fucking bazooka and a tank, but you didn't have the balls to raise a slingshot against Castro? You telling me that you could make submarines out
How
of
do you
fucking...
know these people?
Huh, that was the funniest part. He was sent to me to work with me as an interpreter.
Oh.
And then, when the conversation started, and all of a sudden we're switching to political stuff,
Yeah.
he's telling me how all of his experience in the field, because he interprets for Monroe County Sheriff's Department, when they go and hire a third-party interpreter to help in like an investigation, like sit in the truck, listen to the recording, whatever,
Okay.
whatnot. Okay. What else in the legal field have you done? That's it. That's it? Well, I help, a lawyer in a meeting here and there. But yeah, mainly that's it. Dude, I work with the cops. I know I know the system.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Dude,
know one side.
You know one string of the whole piano.
Right. Exactly.
And you only know like that untuned string of the piano. Like, I'm going to put it to you this way, I tell him. Even the district attorney of Monroe County doesn't have as much of an idea how everything else works if you put it compared to me. And he looks at me and he says, so you're that full of it? I'm like, no, I'm that informed about it because I work with a DA over there, with a PD over there, with a PD from Wayne County. Put it PD, DA, probation.
Yeah.
Discounted, 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 discounted,
you've
discounted,
seen it all.
discounted. City, town, state, federal, immigration.
Right.
Which one do you want for me to talk to you about? You
Right.
want it in procedures in Florida, New
Right.
York City, Ohio?
Right.
Please tell me, because we can go 30 minutes on the road to a different county and it's going to be a completely different setup all around.
Sure.
So when you say you know so much, shows how little you know.
Right.
Because even I, that travel in and talk with so many fucking people of you all, I still don't know a damn thing.
Right. Yeah. The same.
Like,
There's still a lot to learn.
so I don't know. It's just, I do want to thank you for talking to me today. I know it's weird to record it, but
Fine.
it feels better to talk about it with somebody who can actually help come up with a plan without being an echo chamber.
Yeah. Within the next few weeks, I don't know. Something will happen. We all have to come together. I think people still need processing time.
Well, people are it's a Brexit, because people started to search what a tariff was after they voted.
Yeah, they said the number one Google search is how do I change my vote?
Well, I mean, think
And the
about
number
it.
2 Google search was what is a tariff?
Think about what I said with the dad, grandfather, and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Why nobody put 2 and 2 together with when he first was in office and put the tariff? We had to bail out the farmers. You know what's stupid? My farmer friends very pro Trump, even after he fucked them over.
I'm sure.
Because that wasn't his fault. That was the Democrats that botched it. So remember, even now that
It's
they're going to have
always
full control from beginning to end,
Yeah.
and my expectations are this. Gas at 93 cents on February 1st. I want all borders to be secure, no immigrants. I want my pay raise to triple, my vacations to start, because I don't even have paid vacations, because I work on my own, and I don't want anybody on food stamps or anything like that. Because the main thing that's going to happen, the moment that you eliminate the food stamps and Obamacare,
Yeah.
MAGA ends. Because most of them are on food stamps and Medicare and Obamacare.
It's very true.
So with that, have a great day, everyone. We already had our lunch, in case you didn't hear me all the way through.